What's up guys, I'm going to be checking out Carbon ROM for the Nexus 4. You can get the download from the links in my description. The ROM itself is pretty lightweight, it comes in at 130 meg, but that's without Google Apps. You have to flash Google Apps separately, otherwise you won't get the the Play Store and all that good stuff. So let's start off by talking about the performance. Now, I don't have much on here, so that may make an effect. You can see literally I have only the apps it comes with and the widgets it comes with, but I've got to say, if you notice, it's very, very fast. I do find it slightly faster than PA-ROM. Again, I don't have any apps on it, so take that into account. But if I just zoom around it, you'll just see how nice and smooth it is while opening apps. You can see it's nice and fast, no lag whatsoever. Really, really nice here. And, you know, in comparison to when I had PA with no apps on it, I do think this is a little bit faster. You can just see how smooth it is. There's no lag whatsoever. And also I am running, you can see a live wallpaper here. So that is very nice. Let's get into it. Let's get into what we really want to see here and look at the customizability of the ROM. So the first thing I want to do is go into the settings, guys. Go all the way down to About Phone, and you can see they've added CPU and available memory. So you can see how much memory is available on your device, and you can see the CPU version you've got. You can see the Carbon version here. If you go back out, you can see an About Carbon tab, and you can see all the developers that have contributed and stuff like that. All the sources and things if you want to check it out. Let's get into the real stuff though, and you can see if I scroll up here, you've got Carbon settings, and you've got a hell of a lot of customization here, guys. You've got interface, lock screen, navigation, performance, power menu, power widget, quick settings, status bar, and a theme manager. We'll start off at the top, and we'll start off with interface. So let's get into it. Click into interface here, and you can see here carrier label. This is pretty standard stuff for a custom ROM now. You can change the carrier label. So if I change it to anything, I'll change it to test. If I pull down the notification, you can see now at the bottom here it says test. You can change this to anything. You can put your name down. It really doesn't matter. I'll just put anything, and you can see it keeps changing. So that's kind of nice, but it's pretty standard on most ROMs. You can see here notification draw style. You can actually change the background of the notification shade. I really like this. So if we click here, you can have just a color fill like a red color or blue, or you can have a custom image. And there's been some really cool ones that guys have used. I'm just going to show you this planet one. You have to use the Android resize thing, which is kind of annoying. Hit OK, let it save. And now if I pull down, you'll see, we'll get rid of this. We see we now have the planet as my notification background. It's really, really nice. I really like it. It gives a different touch. If you don't want it to be quite so vibrant and you want it to be a little bit transparent, you can move this over, say 60% transparent, and you can see you can kind of see through it now. That's a nice touch. I really like that. It wasn't on PA-ROM, and it's really nice. So yeah, that's the notification tray there. Transparency setting, guys, this is pretty standard stuff. You can unlink the nav bar and status bar by clicking that if you don't want them both to be separate. But if you pull this down to 0, press save, go back to the launcher, you can see my nav bar down here, and my status bar up here is now transparent. So that's kind of nice. I will leave it on because I kind of like the transparency settings there. As I said, you can untick them and do them separately if you want them to. Notification shortcuts. So if you want a shortcut in your notification panel, for example, I'll show you. I've turned them on at the moment. You can change the number of shortcuts. I'll put 6 because that's the default. You can change the shortcut color. Now, if we actually pick a shortcut here, we'll pick one. We'll pick an application. For example, I don't know, the browser, and we'll press OK. If I now pull this down, you'll see at the bottom here, there is the browser icon. You can actually just click this and you're away into the browser. So that's kind of nice. You know, you could have loads of different ones at the bottom if you wanted them. Nice little kind of quick settings thing you can have there. This ROM, guys, does come with Pi controls. You can see them here. I will talk about them later, but it's pretty much the standard Pi stuff we've seen in the other ROMs. You can turn off the nav bar and have the Pi controls do all the stuff for you. If I quickly click into it, you've got the color settings, Pi controls. I will turn them on just now. You've got, you've got Pi size, all the stuff you can normally change. You know, you can enable chevron targets, center Pi, all that good stuff you can have. Recents bar, if you want to, if you turn this on, and applications cache another. If I go to my recents now, you'll see we have this bar down here showing the RAM. Again, a nice little touch. If you want it, you can see there's a hell of a lot of customization already on this ROM. You can change the LCD density, so you can have it be tablet mode if you want it to be. I'm not going to change this because it requires a restart, but that is possible. Dual panel mode, this is if you want the settings, guys, to be that dual panel mode like it is on PA. At the moment, it's the normal settings, so normal phone view. If you click that, it will turn into the dual panel view. Now, this exposed bit here, guys, this is how you can change the per app DPI. And to do it, the first thing you'll need to do is actually install this exposed thing. So you have to click install, and then you'll go to modules and click that button for exposed app settings. Once you've done that, you can now change the per settings per DPI. So this is kind of like PA, what PA does. For example, you can go into Gmail, you can change this to this resolution, click save, and then launch. And you'll see Gmail is now in the split panel view. And you can do that for any app you want, guys. So that's kind of nice. What you don't have, which PA did have, is obviously the colors. I don't think you can change the colors here. I mean, I could be wrong about that. I'm not completely sure, but it's nice nonetheless, and it works. There's this Netflix workaround here, but I don't think that's for the Nexus 4. Workaround for Exynos 4 devices only. And you can also change the CRT. If you don't want the CRT animation, you can turn it off, or you can have it on for when you turn the screen on. So let's try that out. Turn it on. You can see it has the screen off and on animation. So kind of nice. I'll turn it off because I want my screen off to be quicker. Moving on, guys, to lock screen. If we click into lock screen now, I really like the customization here you can do on the lock screen. So you can actually change the background image of the lock screen, which you can't do normally. So if I change it to this flame, again, we have to use Android's crop system, which is awful. But nonetheless, we'll hit save image, go out, turn it off, turn it back on, and you can see the lock screen is now a different image to my normal background. So that's really nice there. I really like that. You can change if you want the battery status on or not, lock screen color, clock widget, slider targets. You know, you can, you know what this is, guys. You can change the targets here. So if you pick that one, you can have it open a certain application, stuff like that. You can allow for maximized widgets, which is nice. So you can have your dash widget in full screen. You can do some other stuff here, like a quick pin unlock. So instead of pressing enter after you're done, you can just type in the 4 digits and it will just unlock straight away if you've got it right. You know, the usual good stuff here, and it is kind of nice. I do like it. It's I like the fact that you can change the background on the lock screen. So there's a few other stuff here, guys, but the video is already getting quite long, so I've got to kind of skip through it. Next up, guys, we're going to dive into navigation. This is how you can control how you move around on your Nexus 4. So you can see there's hardware keys button up here. I'm not going to go into it because we don't have any hardware keys. There's the enable nav bar here, and if you untick it after a reboot, these nav buttons will be gone permanently until you retick it and reboot again. I don't do it this way because there's actually a better way to do it on this ROM, which I'll show you a little bit later. There's some other stuff we can do with the nav bar here. You can change the location, the visibility and stuff like that. But most importantly, you can change the button quantity. You can put it down to 1 or 5. And if I put it down to 5 here, you can see the extra buttons. If I scroll down, you can actually change the button action. So say, for example, the 4th button, I've already picked it to be kill app. So you can see that's why the X is there. If I go into an app and I press the X, you can see it automatically kills it. It's a very nice function to have. Obviously, you don't have to have 5. You can have 4, whatever the hell you want, or 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever. I'm just going to leave it on default. You can change the navbar color, the button color, the navbar glow, all that good stuff. You can actually change the default buttons if you want to. You can see here in advanced, you can change the navbar height. So if you want to keep the navbar but make it a little bit smaller, you can do that, and you can see it's shrunk. You can make that back to 48. Navbar width, button transparency. So if you want the transparent to be a bit more transparent or not less transparent, you can see you can change that here. Now, there's a few other things you can change, guys, but I'm running short on time here, and I want to talk about some more important stuff. So I told you about the enable navbar button and how I didn't like using this version or this way to do it. That's because this ROM has a few different ways to actually do it. One, you can use the expanded desktop version, which is in the power menu, which I'll show you a little bit later. The other one is to use this navbar toggle, which you can get if you go into the widgets, pull out carbon actions here, and you can see you can have the navbar toggle. So if we click that, it's as simple as getting rid of it. Bang, it's gone, and we've kept the status bar, which is kind of nice. Now, how do you navigate around? Well, like I said before, this app has pies. If we now scroll up here, or if we go into an app, sorry, we should see, there we go. There is the pie, and you can change all the stuff in that. You can change these buttons down here if you don't want them. You can change the colors, all that good stuff. You know, you can go ahead and change it. Pi works really well. If you want it to be a bit speedier, you can have it to be a bit speedier. like I said, it does work really well. If you want the navigation buttons, you can just quickly go ahead and tap there and they come back. So yeah, that's the navigation section, guys. Moving on to performance. Now, I'm pretty sure this is kind of a custom kernel, but not really. It's custom in the fact that it lets you control a few things, but it's basically the stock Google kernel. So if you go into performance here, guys, you can see that you can't overclock, but you can change the minimum. You can also change the governor. You can also change the I/O scheduler. Deadline and loop are not standard for Android, so they have changed a few things. And you can change some advanced settings like SD card read ahead. Instead of the default 128, you can change it to 2048, which makes it a little bit faster and things like that. A few other things, but definitely not as many options as, say, a custom kernel. So you can go ahead and flash a custom kernel if you want to. That's pretty much what I want to tell you about the performance there, guys. Now, let's move on to power menu. Power menu is kind of cool. You can see here if we click into it. At the moment, expanded desktop mode is off. I'm going to turn it on. And I'm going to show you, I want it to hide the navigation bar and the status bar. So it's this one here. Now, this is what I said before. You can get it just to hide the navigation bar. I said there was loads of different options to do that. This is what I was talking about. I'm going to get it to hide the navigation bar and status bar. So if we click that, if we hold the power button now, you can see we've got expanded desktop mode. You click that, everything disappears. And again, you'll have to use Pi to navigate around. Really nice, but it does work really well. So that's kind of nice. It's kind of nice they let you actually change what it does as well, the expanded desktop mode. So I like that. That's pretty much all you can do. You can change some of this. The reboot menu is nice as well. Might as well show you that, guys. So if you hold the button, you can click reboot. It lets you reboot the phone or the bootloader or the recovery. So that's nice to have. If we go back into settings now, power widget, guys. If we click power widget and enable it, this is pretty much, if I pull down my notification shade, you can now see I've got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, and sound here. So you've got a power widget. Obviously, that is customizable. Widget buttons, the button order, all that good stuff is all available and customizable on this ROM. So you can just see there is a hell of a lot of stuff here. If we move on to the status bar, guys, and this is probably my favorite, and this is probably something that really I miss on having PA ROM. This is what this has. Battery icon and bar style. So if you click this, guys, you can change the battery icon to anything you want. Circle, percentage, you can see it change instantly up here. 71%. Circle with percentage, you can see 71 in a circle mod. Really, really nice stuff. If you don't even want it there, you can hide it. But you can go ahead and change the colors here. Percentage, text color, everything you want to do, you can go ahead and change it. So it's really nice. So I'm going to leave it on the percent one. You can disable and enable the clock. You can change the clock color. You can do loads of stuff here. Signal status, guys. This little bar up here, you can change to text. So you can see it changes. You can change it to hidden if you don't want it. Kind of nice being text. Like I said, I like having the customizable status bar. You can do some really cool stuff. You can change the brightness control, so you can adjust brightness by sliding across the status bar. A lot of ROMs have that mod where you can just slide across there. Notification count will tell you how many notifications you have. Yeah, you can see there's a little button on top of my Gmail that says, well, I can't actually read what it says, but I think it says 1 because that's all I have. And then right at the bottom, guys, we've got the theme manager, which you can apply themes like any other ROM. So you can see after all my talking, there is a hell of a lot of customization you can do on this ROM. So much. I would say there's a little bit probably more than PA, although PA lets you change the colors per app, which this ROM does not let you do. But that's the difference. There's a few different things. You can change more of the power buttons, the navigation buttons on here. It comes with Pi, which I really like. I really like Pi. I like the fact that it lets you change the notification shade picture. I really like that. That's really nice. I might keep this ROM for a bit, guys, and see how I feel about it. Don't know yet. I've got to install all my apps and stuff like that, but this is a very nice ROM and it's very well performing. Like I said, this is pretty much a stock Google kernel, so you could probably make it even snappier by installing Franco, but the customization is absolutely unreal. I do kind of miss the per app colors, but at least we've got the per app DPI settings on this ROM. But yeah, very good from Carbon. Really nice, really smooth, great performance, great customizability. It's a great option, guys. Hope you enjoy it. See you guys later.